I should have taken a typing course. Hello? Yes, Alan. Fine. Just fine. Yes, I would say it is gloomy. I would say just that. Now, how do I know if the Vermont air is pure? You think I've been out in it? You gave me this deadline. No. Now, Alan, I know an agent is supposed to push his client, but you're sending me to a sanitarium. Oh, all right. What's the name? Phil Smith. I'll send Minna to meet the bus. What time? Got it. Minna? Oh, Alan, you'd be consumed with jealousy. She's about 20, long blonde hair, and a figure an 8 to be jealous of. You should see her in a bikini. Oh, good morning, Minna.
Yep, I hope so.
Yes. Oh, 36, 24, 35. Those are my lottery numbers.
Okay.
Yes, Alan, look, I'll make your deadline if you're Phil Smith and take decent dictation. Now, let me get to work.
Spend a lot of time on the telephone.
That was my agent. He'll charge it to me, and then I'll make it deductible, so Uncle Sam pays for it. Now, what can I do for you, Minna?
Well, the question is, what can I do for you? You pay me,
The real estate agent pays you.
and you pay the rent. Same thing.
Well, I don't think I mean need, Minna. Possibly buckets if the roof leaks. There is a storm coming on.
Why, the roof's as solid as a tractor seat.
That's good.
Yep. Never got no complaint about leaks. Other things, though. Mice, flies, rotten boards, and of course, ghosts.
Well, mice and flies I can believe, Minna, but not ghosts.
It's just the wind whistling through the upstairs hall. That's what it is.
And I thought it might be old Norman Napier.
Land's sake, he's passed over. I don't hold with people coming back. Once you're gone, it's one way, not round trip.
My sentiments, exactly.
So, what you typing here? You gonna be a book or what?
Well, I hope a book and not a what.
Will it be on the TV?
One can always hope.
I like TV. Saves time. Instead of reading, she says, well, you can just watch her saying it.
Well, the redeeming grace is no commercials.
Yeah, George likes the ones for beer. It reminds him to open a can.
How is your husband doing?
Damn fool. Spends all his time fixing everybody else's house and pays no attention to ours. Well, I've been hinting that them cellar stairs was rotting away. I mean, I haven't used the third from the top since the last time the staff was running.
And you never told him?
Bland. Oh, to tell him a thing. His leg will be out of plaster cast come Tuesday. Well, he probably would have tended you better than me.
You've been a great help, Minna.
Well, people come up here and rent the place. They don't know nothing about it. I gotta tell them all the little odd things about it, you know, like where to check the hot water tank and where the fuse box is and how to jiggle the handle of the toilet upstairs after you flush.
I'm just glad it flushes. When I heard my agent got this place, I had visions of an outdoor John and kerosene lamps.
Well, what do you get this place for you anyways? Bad luck for office it is.
Because of Norman Napier.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's the lucky one. He doesn't have to worry about deadlines anymore.
Well, he don't have to worry about nothing no more. Right here is where I found you.
And his typewriter.
Yeah.
How appropriate.
Nice to go while you're at work, I reckon. I'll just keel over into my chocolate chip cookies.
Well, if Napier hadn't died here, I wouldn't be here. Did you ever think of that?
Can't say I did.
An author died here of mysterious circumstances.
Well, nothing mysterious. He just died.
But why?
Well, his heart stopped pumping.
Exactly, but they never found a cause. He just died. Got a lot of publicity for him when he didn't need it. He was right at the top of his popularity.
Are you at the top?
Minna, you always ask the wrong things.
I just believe in speaking my mind.
I was at the top several years ago, but now I need a good murder mystery, so what better place to write one than here?
If your heart don't stop.
It's all my agent's idea. You know, Write a murder mystery in that mausoleum where Napier died, he said. Great publicity. He even gave me a title. Death of an Author.
Kinda catchy.
Well, it's working. Did you see this week's Newsweek?
Must have missed it.
Oh. I still can't get a handle on it, though. But I've started it. I've got a collection of characters coming in, and here it is.
Why, that's you, ain't it?
Yes.
Well, you look real intelligent there.
I wish I was there. That's taken in Southampton.
Is that in England?
This one's on Long Island. I've got an ultramodern house there looking right out over the ocean.
And you left it?
Rented it. I needed the money. Royalties are not what they used to be, and that place is hopped up to its skylight.
Well, maybe you should think about getting a real job.
This is a real job,
I mean like work. Something by the hour.
but I'm a writer.
Well, then maybe you should be writing instead of talking.
Well, I'm too scared to write.
What are you scared of?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know where I'm headed. I've gotten as far as bringing some characters in, but I'm not sure where the mystery's going.
Well, this is the perfect place for a murder, all right?
But it's hardly your typical Vermont house. This place belonged to Edgar Allan Poe.
Not Poe. Pocock.
What?
Abner Pocock. Well, he had this place built back in the 19th century. He wanted a show place for when he spent the summers here. There ain't another place like it in the whole county. Cost a bundle, too. Nowadays, you can't even afford to heat it. That's why no one will rent it in the winters, not even skiers, and Lord knows, they'll rent anything. The Cutlers, they rented that little 2-bedroom cape. You know how many skiers crammed in there?
More than 4?
23. They was sleeping everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they found one in the freezer. Anyway, I gotta make my legs start moving. You want anything down the store?
You've kept me well supplied, Minna. But there is one thing.
Yeah.
Could you meet the morning bus from the city?
The 1025?
That's the one, and picked up a Phil Smith. He's going to be my secretary, take dictation and all that. I'm sure you'll be able to recognize him. He's likely to be a short, plump man with owl spectacles. No, that's me. He's probably going to be a very nice-looking out-of-work actor.
And he's bound to be the only one getting off the bus.
That's true enough.
I'll be back later with the paper.
I'm sure the Burlington Free Press is fine, Minna, but could you bring me the New York Times this time?
Everyone to their own taste, as the old lady said when she kissed the cow. And don't forget to jiggle the handle upstairs.
That is uppermost in my mind. Right, now where was I? As the thunder echoed throughout the mountain. That's all I need. It was as if the old house was preparing for murder, but at that moment, all was calm and tranquil. The countryside was growing darker. No, was growing dimmer, as if foretelling the events of the gruesome evening ahead. Oblivious of the storm's warning, Lydia comes to the top of the stairs. She is an exquisite creature.
That's obvious.
Lydia is probably 42 years old,
Why am I always over 40?
but she carries it well.
Makeup does wonders.
Only a close inspection would reveal her true age, and many men have the advantage of that close inspection. I like that.
So do I.
As usual, she is dressed with impeccable taste.
That's a relief.
A green scarf is wound round her throat.
Blue. Couldn't I have blue?
A green scarf.
Oh, hell.
That could be used in a murder, of course. Scarves are always handy. A quick twist and it's all over.
I hope you're satisfied. Green.
She comes downstairs. There is an ominous roll of thunder. It sends a shiver through her.
Thunder makes me nervous.
She paces the room nervously.
I'm going to get murdered. I know it. I always do.
She sits on the sofa, trying to calm her nerves. She picks up a magazine.
The Reader's Digest. When can I ever read anything uncondensed?
There is another clap of thunder. Lydia rises in alarm.
You don't have to write that. I'd do it anyway.
She hears footsteps coming from the kitchen into the dining room. Every nerve in her body is alert and tingling.
Don't murder me yet. I just got here.
The footsteps come closer and closer and... Ah, hell. This wouldn't happen in Southampton. I mustn't panic. There's a flashlight in the desk here somewhere. Somewhere? But where? Got it. Right. Now I wonder if it's this house or the whole town.
Just this house, darling.
Who said that?
I did.
Who are... How did you get in here? What's going on?
The lightning blew something or other.
But who are you?
Lydia.
Lydia?
Don't you recognize me? The green scarf and all that? I did so want to keep the blue.
You mean you're Lydia? My Lydia?
All yours, darling.
The lightning. I've been struck by lightning. That's it. Call an ambulance. The rescue squad. They must have a rescue squad.
The phone's out. It always is.
You're right. Now suppose you tell me what this is all about.
Suppose you tell me you're the author.
I'm hallucinating. But I don't take drugs. I don't even take aspirin that's extra strength.
Well, goody. The lights are coming back.
I want to know what you're doing here.
There we are. Now you can put that beastly torch out. There's a good boy. I must say, you're better looking than most I've worked for. Trifle sallow, perhaps, but some Vermont sunshine will take care of that.
Let's start over. Who are you?
Lydia, whatever you decided, Dillingham, wasn't it? You hadn't really made up your mind.
But Lydia Dillingham isn't real. She's in there.
No, dear. Up there, in your head. Do I look like you expected? You didn't describe every last detail yet. I hope you like the hair, do you?
It's very fetching.
Thank you. Now, tell me, am I going to get murdered? I don't particularly want to be, but I usually am.
I've fallen asleep. I'm dreaming. That's why you're here.
That's not quite it. I am Lydia, though. Do you believe that, for starters?
Well, I guess I'll have to. I mean, you look like her and you sound like her, but...
Good. You created me, and here I am. Aren't you happy to see me?
Well, I never expected to meet you in the flesh, if that's what you're in.
It's all been a lucky happenstance. You were thinking and writing, and the lightning came exactly at the right moment. And zingo, here I am. It doesn't happen very often.
But it has happened before.
Occasionally, when all the elements meet at the right moment. We're always around, you know, the people you think up. We're in your head, running about, doing your bidding. It's probably my running around in high heels that gives you headaches.
I suppose you think that's amusing.
You did give me a sense of humor.
Well, it's warped.
And it's your fault.
Look, how long are you going to be around?
As long as you need us to write your story.
Wait, you said us. There are others here?
Of course, all your characters.
Oh, I'm like Pirandello. I've got 6 characters in search of me.
Pirandello's a bore. I worked with him once.
You mean like this?
No, darling, he didn't bring us to life. Stayed in his head, gloomy place. Peter, may I call you Peter, since we know each other so well?
Why not?
Peter, might I have a drink?
You mean you can drink? You're not just ectoplasm or something?
When we get released, we can do everything. Everything.
I'll get you that drink.
No, you don't have to. Pull the bell cord there.
I don't believe it. You're telling me the butler will come.
It's his duty.
Oh, what was his name? I changed it last night. I called him Cogburn.
He's very good at butlers, playing them for centuries.
You rang, sir?
I thought.
Oh, sir, I'm Cogburn.
I rang, Cogburn. Can you get me a nice scotch and water? I don't suppose there's any Chivas Regal out there.
No.
Certainly, madam. And for you, sir?
Well, why the hell not?
Very good, sir.
He's a dear.
How did the Shivers Regal get here?
Colbert always brings the best. Evidently, you hadn't written what kind of a liquor supply was here.
Well, I hope I did the same with the food.
Food? Oh, Peter, to eat again. How marvelous.
How long since your last meal?
Well, let's see now. There was that dreadful Mickey Spillane thing. I didn't eat there, of course. Spent most of my time in bed. And then there was... You know, Peter, I can't remember when I ate my last meal.
Well, that's quite a diet.
A good figure is one of my specialties.
So, then for now, you're real. You and Cogburn are solid flesh.
Very solid, Peter. Molded just right.
When the author's guild hears about this,
No fair, Peter. You can't exploit us, so don't go calling 60 minutes.
who has time? I'm on a deadline to finish my book.
That's why we're here. We're only real to you.
Gee, who would believe this?
If you try to tell anyone, you'll only end up in a sanitarium. It's happened before.
I hope these will be satisfactory, sir.
Oh, I imagine they will be.
Cogburn,
Yes, ma'am.
you don't have to be formal. We're set free. His dear authors released us.
I know. I am very excited.
You don't seem it.
Well, butlers are butlers. Our excitement is within.
Come on, relax. Make yourself a drink and join us.
Oh, madam.
We're all in the same boat. Sit down. Have a smoke.
Oh, madam, I couldn't sit down in here. But if I might, I may take a small libation in the pantry.
Enjoy yourself, Cogburn.
Thank you, sir.
He'll loosen up when he gets used to being free.
Does he have to stick to the character I invented for him?
We all have our specialties. There are all sorts of butlers. Proper ones, lower class ones, trainees, even those who rob their employers blind. Cogburn is one of the top sophisticates. He really excels in murder mysteries. He used to work so much he was hardly ever at home.
Where is home?
Where did we come from?
Which is where?
There are some things it's unwise to talk about.
Someone's here. How can I explain you?
You don't have to. You won't be able to see us.
But what about your drink? Will that just float around in the air?
I won't touch my glass in the presence of company.
And then I'll just ignore you?
That's right. But Peter, have you thought it might be one of us at the door?
Good Lord. But which one?
There is a visitor, sir. Shall I answer it?
I guess so.
I do hope it isn't the unexpected guest. They always create such mayhem.
I think I'll go up and finish unpacking. I know who that must be.
Well, I can't entertain anyone else. I have to work.
But Peter, isn't it time for the beautiful ingenue to enter all rain-soaked and fragile looking?
You must mean Kay. I called her Kay.
That's the one. Those ingenues are always so sweet and boring.
Well, she might be very nice.
She'll come in saying, "Oh, I'm so wet, I must look a fright." Just you wait and see.
Right this way, miss.
Oh, I'm so wet. I must look a fright. Thank you.
How do you do? I'm Peter Knight.
I know. I wish you hadn't brought me here in the rain. It makes such a bad impression.
Well, I didn't mean to bring you here at all.
That's nice greeting, I must say. I go to all this trouble, not that I had any choice in the matter, of course, and you're not glad to see me.
No, of course I'm glad to see you. It's just that you're so, well, unexpected.
Oh, no, I'm not the unexpected guest. I never am. I'm the ingenue. Everyone falls in love with me, and some even try to kill me. But I'm never the unexpected guest.
But you don't get killed, do you?
Silly man. What sort of mystery would it make if the ingenue was killed just before the hero was about to save her? You know better than that.
May I get you a drink, miss?
Cogburn.
Oh, yes, sorry, miss. What about a nice hot cup of tea?
Perfect. Thank you. You're very sweet.
Oh, thank you, miss.
I always find everyone very sweet. Isn't that sickening?
Well, no, I rather like it.
It pulls on one after a while. Shall we sit down and wait?
For the tea, you mean?
For the tea and midnight.
What happens at midnight?
Really, Peter, you ought to know. It's your story. I sometimes wish things would happen at 11:40 or even at 1 o'clock. But no, you authors always stick to midnight like glue.
Well, our readers expect it.
I suppose they do. Well now, aren't you surprised to see us?
That is an understatement.
It's going to be such fun being free for a bit. Oh, we'll stick to your story. We have to. But we can enjoy ourselves a bit.
Well, I do hope you have a good time.
My only wish is for a nice hot bath with loads of fragrant bubbles in it.
I'll try to arrange it.
There is a tub and hot water, isn't there? This place looks rather like the House of Usher.
Well, it has all the modern conveniences.
May I ask a rather impertinent question?
Be my guest.
Why did you have to make your story happen here? There are lots of other nicer places. The Riviera, for instance. I always have a good time there. The sun, the gambling.
The topless beaches.
Not for me. I'm the ingenue.
Oh, wishful thinking.
You are nice, Peter.
Oh, thank you.
Now tell me, why here?
Well, it's all due to publicity. See, Norman Napier died here.
I never liked him. I worked in his head once for that thing about the corpse. Yes, the corpse with one shoe. He was much too graphic.
Well, Napier died here under rather peculiar circumstances.
You authors love that, don't you?
What?
That phrase, under peculiar circumstances. It explains a great deal and nothing at the same time.
You're clever for an ingenue.
Why does everyone think we have to be so dumb?
Anyway, my agent thought it would be good for me to do a murder mystery set right here in the old house where Napier died. I'm supposed to use all the stock characters of the 20s, but give them a modern twist.
It might make a TV movie, but as a book, well, I doubt it'll even be a Book of the Month Club alternate.
I believe you take your tea with one sugar, miss?
Good for you, Cogburn. You remembered.
Yes, miss.
Whenever we work together, he gives me my one sugar. If the author specifies something else, of course, I have to follow it. Remember that dreadful time I had that movie script to do?
Oh, the burnt camellia, yes, miss.
The author made me take 4 sugars and cream.
And the cream was poison.
I had that stomach pump scene in the hospital. There aren't any hospitals in this, are there?
Not so far.
Thank you, Cogburn. Isn't it fun being free for one?
Oh, yes, miss. Perhaps after dinner, I might relax. Have a good laugh.
He's a dear. Always right there when you need him.
He could have inspired Woodhouse to write Jeeves.
And he did. This is good. There. You see what I mean about Cogburn? This wasn't made with a flow-through tea bag. It's genuine orange pekoe with a touch of chamomile.
Well, I'm glad I thought him up.
I suppose it's all for the best you have the mystery happen here. If it wasn't, we wouldn't have been set free. There was a bolt of lightning, I assume.
Rather a big one.
That always does it. If the story takes place where it's written, and there's a
guess.
Tell me about yourself. Are you happy?
Well, I suppose so. I mean, I never stop to think about it unless I'm unhappy.
Are you married?
No. You?
I don't remember having marriages back then. But I do know when I work, I'm always engaged. Sometimes my fiancé is murdered, but then there's always some other nice young man along to save me, especially if I'm an heiress. That's always messy because everyone wants to marry me for my money.
Oh. Well, I was thinking of making you an heiress in this.
You're forgiven. You're a very nice author, Peter. We don't get to talk to many of them, but we do know what goes on in their heads. If I were a real person, I'd want to be engaged to someone just like you.
Oh. Well, you know, it would be nice to be able to dream up your own girl and have her be a real person.
Which would be like me.
You know, I suppose she would. I made you up.
Thank you for that. I wish I could stay,
So do I.
but after midnight, things will start popping, and who knows what will happen.
Why do you keep harping on midnight?
The will. You plan to have it read at midnight.
Well, it was just an idea.
That's all we need. You planned it, so we have to do it. It's rather hackneyed, isn't it?
Well, it is an old-time plot with new twists, so there is a will read at midnight, but we don't have to if you don't want to.
But we do, Peter. It's ordained, I guess you'd say. Who else will be here for the reading?
God knows. This has gotten out of hand. Perhaps I should go upstairs and check in the rooms to see who else is here.
I'm here, Mr. Knight, and I'm very distraught.
You're distraught. I'm hysterical.
The old character lady.
Oh, sorry. Mrs.
Miss Fiona Babcock, you ought to know you thought me up. But you didn't take enough time to think up a decent room for me. It's so bright, and the wallpaper, roses everywhere, and the bed's lumpy. And heaven forbid, there's a connecting bath to the room next door, where the water runs unless you jiggle the toilet handle.
Well, perhaps I could rethink your room.
It's too late for that now. We're free, so we're stuck with our accommodation. Hello, Kay.
I didn't know you were on call for this story.
This author seems to have dug up all the old characters, so here I am, complete with knitting. And as usual, I'm not content. I suppose are deliriously ecstatic.
I am, rather.
I've never worked with you when you haven't been. Now, Mr. Knight, shall we do?
What can we do?
Nothing. That's what. Nothing can ever be done. I have been upset for more stories than you have ever written. That Christie woman, Agatha, she always uses me, but never gives me what I want, a comfortable, cosy corner to call my own. And on top of that, she always murders me by the 4th chapter.
I'll do whatever.
And another thing,
Yes.
do you think you can control that hysterical maid up there?
What maid?
That incompetent idiot trying to unpack my things.
Well, it can't be, but it must be. Is it Addie?
Naturally, that child haunts me.
Who is Addie?
You named her, you brought her here.
Well, I thought there should be the usual maid, yes, but I hadn't decided what kind.
Yes, you had, Mr. Knight. You authors always have some silly child rushing about everywhere. Sometimes for humour, sometimes to have another person to murder off. But they are always opposed to everything I stand for. Always. And I'm sure she's unmarried and pregnant.
I wouldn't know.
Well, in the subconscious knows. You people are preoccupied with sex. I believe that.
Please, Fiona, don't get started on one of your diatribes on purity. We all know how you feel. You've said it often enough.
Well, it bears repeating. Now, Mr. Knight, as an author, perhaps you could tell me why you always have sexy young things prancing through your pages.
Well, I guess it's,
Yes?
well, it's just that it sells well. We do have to appeal to the public. suppose you don't need it in your, should I call it a profession?
Money is of no importance to me.
Well, if you had to go out and earn it, it would be. You get everything handed to you on a silver platter, so why should you care what sells and what doesn't? I think you're very selfish.
Don't blame her too much, Peter. That's just the way she is. That's why she's on this assignment.
Well, I don't mind saying I wished I was back with Louisa May Alcott. She never treated me this way.
You knew Louisa May Alcott.
Well, we never met, of course, but I was in her head. She gave me some pleasant things to say and a few laughs. I had a warm side. Lately, I've been all shriveled up into a typical spinster. Perhaps sometime I'll be called down for a friendly mother.
Married or unmarried?
Oh, there's no point in talking to you. I'm going to sit over here with my knitting and think good thoughts, if I can.
Look, I apologize if I brought you down here for nothing.
Well, I suppose it's not your fault entirely. You have to have the character woman in these stories, and she's always the same.
I think I'll go upstairs and unpack.
You'll be lucky if Addie hasn't beaten you to it.
I can handle her. I'll try a little kindness.
That's a dig at me, I suppose. Oh dear, what is this? Is this your idea of a joke, young man?
No, I had nothing to do with that.
Well, someone wasn't thinking nice thoughts when they put this in my bag. Knit. I always have to knit. Well, I suppose it could be a sweater for an octopus.
You could always dye it grey when it's finished.
I'll be murdered long before that.
Perhaps not. We're free now.
And free or not, we are here to be murdered, and murdered we will be. Mark my words.
Well, I hadn't planned out the murders.
Well, you brought us here, and murder was on your mind, so murder it will be.
Is that what must happen?
Well, I'm not sure. Now that we're free, perhaps we can change things. Don't worry about it, Peter. We'll just pretend each moment as it comes. I'll try to soothe Addie down. Oh dear. She must be pregnant. She always is.
Miss Babcock, may I call you Fiona?